to be an emperor and have nothing. Citizen Kane is a story about a man who becomes the wealthiest in the world, climbing to the top, amassing crazy amounts of money that me and you couldn't even fathom. Initially, he did this with the goal of honesty. He didn't want to eat off the backs of the man who had raised him after his parents gave him away to him. He wanted to create his own path in the world, and at the start, it works. He is creating something, and he sticks to that honesty and integrity that he valued. He was a people's person. He was loved by the masses because of who he was, even with his status. He was truly someone who spoke to the common man. As his wealth grew, as his status grew, he only grew further from the common man. He had everything he could have possibly wanted, but he didn't have the thing he truly wanted, which was to not feel alone. As one of the characters in the movie puts it, Kane did everything for love. You know, he married for love, he went into newspaper for love. It was something he sought so hard. Kane knew how to create monuments, but he didn't know how to foster what was inside of them. You know, this is why his second wife feels so lonely, and the same goes for his first wife. Both relationships felt lonely, and especially in his second wife's case, where she's just constantly making puzzles in this massive house. There are no people. The only thing she has to talk to is the echo which bounces off the walls. And he fought so hard to be loved by people, searching for something to fill this hollowness that was inside of him. And I think this ties into something that he himself said. If I hadn't been born rich, I might have been a great man. And I think this is partially true. Cain had the seeds of a greatness within him. He at some point he just stopped cultivating it because he really was a man of the people, not just a name, but because that's what he strived to be. I don't think wealth changed that about him, but more so that he got lost in the concept of what he was fighting. He started seeing love and wealth and status as him being loved when he had people around him that truly did care for him and truly did love him. And when he stopped noticing that, that's when problems began to occur for him because of his own actions, but also how the world saw him. If we go back to the beginning where he's just a kid in, I think it was Colorado, sledding and having fun, which is where we get the term rosebud, and why this movie, why sort of this man goes around interviewing people about Kane and, you know, why he lived or why he might have said rosebud. And we never quite figure out what Rosebud is, or at least the people in this world don't, because Rosebud was just that sled. That is where he felt loved. That is where he was truly happy sledding down those mountains in Colorado. I believe that he believes if he had never left, his life wouldn't have gone astray. The name also, the title of the movie also fits into the story, Citizen Kane. This is sort of everything he is not. He is everything but a citizen, yet tries to be one. He fights for the people. He speaks as if he's one of them, and he is. Each and every one of us is a citizen. But that ideal is also what distances him. He has the greatest newspaper tycoon, which was built on integrity and honesty. And as he said, he is always gagged on a silver spoon. In building this tycoon and this life around achieving money and status, he had choked himself because the idea of love had become intertwined with that wealth and status. And he has this massive house that is incomplete, that doesn't feel lived in. It just has a bunch of things. It's like a museum. rather than somewhere where him and his wife live. He is alone at the end of the movie. He dies alone, holding a snow globe, which reminds him of the last time he felt at home. I personally really enjoy Citizen Kane and the mystery around Rosebud, the life he lives in the beginning, and how he changes into man of the people to monster who opposes his own beliefs. Now, he's not a monster, he's only a man, but still. What if he had remained as a boy with the poor family in those mountains? What if he never gave up his integrity and honesty to flaunt himself into higher positions? What if he had just been happy with the life he had built around him, with the people that he had cultivated or been with, like his first wife and his son? Or what if he had cultivated that second relationship? Or did a better job at cultivating the relationship with his friend who, instead of going against their mission, stuck to integrity and honesty? When Kane wrote that final desertion, or wrote that final paper on himself, giving himself a bad image, what if he had changed his mind and realized what he was doing and reconciled with Leland instead of sending him away with a check? I personally really like the movie Citizen Kane. It is probably in one of my top 5 movies that I've ever seen. I like how he changes from beginning to end in possibly the worst ways. I like how he has everything, yet feels totally alone and secluded in his own life. I like the style of interviewing and flashbacks. So it's a really good movie. I recommend watching it, even if you're not into old movies. But yeah, peace out and bye.